In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to find your references to help you get started on your background painting. So let me show them to you. Now that we've explained about how to prep your file, as well as going through a little bit of technicalities about Photoshop, I'm going to talk about how to find reference before starting to paint your background. So I don't always have this giant library in my head that I can just paint off of without looking at pictures. So finding reference is a great way to start your background illustration process. It is a really very helpful step in trying to figure out what you want for your final painting to look like. So I'm going to share some simple examples on how to look for your own references. I'm going to show you just a few things that I just use most of the time. One of the most accessible tools for all artists that we can use to find reference is Google Images. It's so straightforward, any kind of images can come up, and any type of image that you click on can kind of send you down this rabbit hole of one image to another. So if you click on one thing, another image that might be related to that can pop up, and you can another interesting picture that you can use for your painting. Something like this, it looks more like an old retro gas station, something that's been built a long time ago but has just kind of worn down over the years, so I'm looking for something like that. Here I already started looking for images. Once you type in something like retro gas station, there's so many. My process really is just looking for color as well as certain elements that can help me paint the designs that are on line work. Like these vintage gas pumps that kind of look like what's in the design, so I might, save it. Sometimes I just create a blank template on Photoshop and put all the images there. Of course, everyone has their own way of looking through images on Google, and for me, I'm just showing you quickly what I'm looking for as well. There's so many different kind of color styles. Oh, something like this, it's more worn down, and I really like the different coloring and textures on it, so I'll just save it. And if you can't find something that you like, you can always look for something else by typing a different keyword. Particularly, a lot of these are just very clean, retro, really cute looking. This one I really love, the color scheme. They're all very fresh and new looking, so I want to look for something that's just been worn down over the years, so I could go retro old gas station. Something like this, where there's textures of worn down, broken, neglected. There's this thing in the US where it's called Route 66. It's a very famous long road that has a bunch of old gas stations like this that you can reference. So I'm just picking things that I just find really interesting that I can use. There's no particular color palette that I'm looking for. That I can just build up later in my thumbnails. Going through Google Images, you can definitely find some great treasures, reference images. If there are photos that I absolutely love and want to keep for future references, I would either save them into a folder on my desktop, or I think the best place to do so is Pinterest. So Pinterest is another great website to collect all my references. Here on Pinterest, I already typed Route 66 gas station, and they have so many other options as well. Different from Google, and maybe some that you will see, but it's very curated too. And with that, I can also drag several images into this blank Photoshop page and arrange them as a mood board. I'm not very picky about how I want to arrange it. If I have everything that I want, it is already okay for me. Depending on different artists, how they particularly work, you can arrange it by color or different types of textures that you want to group together. To me, it doesn't matter so long as everything that I feel like is there, I'm pretty happy with it. There's a bunch of old gas stations that you can reference from here. I'm looking for an old windmill as well, so there's this reference for that I can use. For this lesson, I've also just created one, where I've found different types of lighting as well, or different types of styles. You can also use references from other artists that you feel like evokes that same sense of, a gas station that's out there in the middle of nowhere, or whichever scene that you want to paint. I've also found some night lighting as well if I wanted to do a night scene, and these are photos that I've used to create this design. So as you can see, there is a wide variety. Some are illustrative and some are designs that I have from photographs or designs or TV or films that I really love. I try not to stick to one thing because my source of inspiration comes from various different places. I find it more inspiring to look outside of the things you are used to. So some of my favorite things do come from a pin or an image that I never thought I would search for. There is also another application that artists can use if you have another monitor that can help you. When I work and have reference up, I usually put it on a different window or switch between tabs. Or also I would just take the image like this and expand the canvas that I'm painting on and just paste the image next to it, so it's easier, depending on how you want to work. But for those who have a second monitor, you can also use an application called PureRef, which is right here. And you can simply paste images on top, resize them, and once you start working on Photoshop, it will stay on your second monitor. It's quite awesome. You can resize, paste as many as you can, move this around anywhere. So when it comes to reference, finding inspiration before you start painting, I really recommend taking the time to find it. It usually takes me 30 minutes, or I sometimes give myself over an hour to just find the exact things that I want, or anything that inspires me that can help me paint whatever I want. You can learn a lot from your inspirations and add it to your paintings. It will also teach you how objects look and how lighting reacts to different settings. And they really are there just to guide you so your piece looks more believable. I will definitely leave my mood board as an attachment for this lesson. Take your time to look through it. Have fun building your own reference library for your project. Here's my Pinterest page that I just want to share everything I have collected over the years. A lot of it just has been put into different categories so it's easier for me to find. Say for illustrations, I wanted more of a painterly visual development style, so a lot of these images look like that, much more detailed, less flat. I also have a section where it's mostly just flat graphic editorial styles, if that's where I want to go with the piece. If you don't have an account, I highly recommend getting one. It's been super helpful for me to just save anything that I really like that I can look back into in the future. Now that you've gathered all your references to help you start your background painting, in the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to set up your composition.